Hello, and welcome back to the second session around content modeling options. So now we will discuss about document properties and in particular document schemas. So as you know, when you need to attach document properties to a document type, you can either directly create these properties in the document type definition or create a schema with its own properties and attach this external schema to the document type. So let's take an example to illustrate it. So if I create a document type called invoice, I can either create these properties directly in the document type definition, or I can go to the schemas, create an external schema called invoice schema, for example, add my custom properties, and attach it directly to my document type definition. Going here in the external schema section. As always, there is not only one best solution. What has to remember is that you have to think always in the global document type hierarchy, because it will highly impact your repository structure. It will impact the searches, lifecycle, etc. Typically, the document type inheritance is really important because you will inherit from child to parent document its facets, document properties, and external schemas. So you won't have to repeat it every time. Then you have to think about flexibility and reusability. Typically, when you start a Nuxeo project, you will start on a small perimeter. But you have to keep in mind that maybe in the future, you will have new use cases that should be integrated to your platform. So you have to make sure that the document type model you're building can be extensible and reusable. Finally, you can use facets with external schemas, which is an interesting way to attach dynamically document properties. This last point leads us to the next topic around document facets. So as you may know, a document facet is a capability offered by the Nuxeo platform to attach dynamically some behaviors or some properties. So when you need to attach properties to a document, you've got two options. You can either create an external schema or document type inheritance mechanism, or you can directly create a document facet. So let's see an example. So let's say, for example, you want to identify every document which contains personal information. So first option is to create a property or schema with all the properties describing personal information. So first option is to create a schema. Once done, you can go back to your document type and attach this external schema. So it will apply to your document type and all children document type. The second option is to remove it directly from the document type definition and use facets. To do so, you have to make two things. First one is to go to the registries and create a new facet. The easiest way is to copy paste the example and then adapt it. In your facet, you can attach schemas. So in our case, we will attach the PI schema. Save it. So this is not enough to activate this facet. You have to create an XML extension. To do so, you go to Advanced Settings, XML extension, call it document facet, for example. And create your extension. So that will make the link between the facet and the schema. And now, if you're going back to your document type, you've got your new facet. What is really interesting now is that you can dynamically attach this facet and in the same time attach the new schemas and its properties. You can do it from the automation chain, with the document add facet. All you need is a facet name. Several points have to be considered here. First, document facets are really convenient if you need to attach specific behaviors on the front end or the back end. For example, when you create a document type layout, you can easily set conditions if the document has a facet or not, and therefore display or not some section of information. Then you have to think also about all the search capabilities. But once again, it is really important to structure correctly all your document type model. So if you're sure that your document type won't move and the property will remain always on the document type definition, please set it directly on it. Don't use facets because facets are meant to be dynamic. So now let's go to the last topic around document lifecycle. So when you have to attach a state to your document, you've got two options. One, create a document lifecycle, and the second one is to use a custom property with a list of values describing all the possible state of your document. Let's see in detail. So creating a document lifecycle is pretty easy. So let's create a document lifecycle for invoices. My document lifecycle is created. All I have to do is to go back to my document type definition and edit the default lifecycle. Second option is to create a custom property called state, which is a list of value. So I will create a new vocabulary called state list. And create it directly here in vocabularies. With the states I've defined before. So now, in both cases, I've created a property that will list my document state. So when to use document lifecycle and when to use state properties. If you need a policy with core controls, use document lifecycle. With the document lifecycle, you have to respect all document lifecycle transitions. So you can go directly from the draft state to the validate state. You have to pass through the in review state. So this is a core control. On the other hand, if you need flexibility, you have to use state properties with list of values. So this is all for this expert session. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.